Welcome back, traders. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful weekend. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to go through the market situation here for this week. Kind of get a little bit of a recap of what happened last week and where do we see the markets going from here, right? Let me know if the music's too loud or too soft. Let me get a mic check. Can you guys hear me? All right, cool. All right, so Bitcoin. So far, it wasn't able to breach this $45,000 area. We talked about this last week that we might come up to touch that area. We got pretty close, right? This median trend line right here, this 44.6 area, we got pretty close to touching it. We are still making these higher lows right now, but obviously we're in this downtrend. You can clearly see we are in a down-sloping channel. And we're just kind of hanging on to this support line right here. Right around this 42.5, 42.6 area. We kind of just going consolidating here. Not really doing too much. And we're in more of a longer term trading range, as you guys can see, these lows here from July. And the top of the range, right? Near the all-time high target, 67. 68k, basically this range. We're sort of smack dab in the middle of it right now. So what we would like to see, right? We do have stochastics pointed up here on the daily, which is good. We do have some separation on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, we still have not got a cross up on the weekly, right? So kind of conflicting variables on different time scales here, different time frames. So, but the 3-day chart, we did get a cross on the 3-day chart. So the smaller term time frames are pointing up right now. What we're waiting to see is all time frames kind of align to make that move up. Right, so the 3-day did cross up. We're above about 31 here on the stochastics. And you can see the negative momentum is trying to wean off here, right? You can see that it's slowly weaning off. We are below zero on the MACD, so technically on the 3-day time scale, we're in bearish territory on the 3-day time scale. However, we are showing this divergence coming in. Okay. I still think it's possible, and given we don't take out these lows here around 42k, all right. You can clearly see these candle bodies here on the 3-day chart around 41.8. If we start making candle closures below that, we're most likely going to test this low, all right? So you have that low there at around 40.6k looking left. You can clearly see this area here. If we fail to break higher, and I'm talking about a move probably up to this $46,000 area like we've been talking about, all right? And that would mean we get a test of this area here, right? And that's what we're talking about right now, this $46,000 area. It would make a lot of sense for us to go up to test that. All right, if we can get above it and use it as a support, then yes, I would say it's likely that we go to test towards the top of this channel area. But we can't really make that assumption right now because we haven't even attempted at breaking back above this area right here. this $44,000 area. We haven't been able to reclaim that. So if we can't breach back above this 44 to 46k area, and we get rejections there, then we're going to just continue coming back down to test the supports, right? So it really does depend on what kind of volume, what kind of open interest we have right now with Bitcoin. So, but right now, like I said, we're in the smack dab in the middle of this range, and it would make sense for us eventually to test back up to this $45,000 to $46,000 range. And for the downside targets, okay, if we don't test towards this top of this range, which if it's really weak price action, that could happen. However, like I said, the 3-day stochastics are pointed up. The weekly hasn't crossed up yet, obviously, so we don't have a weekly signal, unfortunately, to give you guys. So we're going to have to go off the shorter term time scales to kind of predict what's going to happen in the short term here. Right, so the 3-day time scale is pointed up. The daily is pointed up. The 2-day is also pointed up. Right, the 2-day. Well, the 2-day actually hasn't crossed down, but it is. The stochastics are kind of maybe pointed down here at the moment, but we could just get what's called a bounce off the signal indicator here. This 2-day stochastic isn't really too clear, right? So you kind of want to look at all the time frames and kind of get an idea. I will say that the 2-day momentum is about to cross up here on the MACD, right? So you're about to get maybe what could be a bullish cross here on the 2-day chart. Right, so we have one oscillator indicating we could see upside, and also we have our directional movement index here in the green zone, right? So this is indicating we are in the buy zone here on the 2-day chart. So 2 out of 3 oscillators on the 2-day chart are actually telling us we could see some upside. All right. So that's the overall consensus here on Bitcoin right now, kind of in this sideways range right now. And if we do get a push, we could test up to this 45 to 46k level. If we get a rejection, we're looking at the lower end of the range, right? The 40.6 to 42k range, right? Bitcoin dominance is still obviously making what looks to be lower lows, so we could still continue to see altcoins outperform Bitcoin right now, which is what we're seeing, right? Lots of these altcoins are outperforming, like Phantom, Cosmos, Luna. Cardano had a nice remove today, right? All right, so we're going to go look at traditional markets here for a second. And we are still in this long-term channel up. We are holding these lows 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we have a 4th low down here that we made on Friday, right? So as long as we continue to make these higher lows in the stock market, this doesn't look too hot on the weekly, I will say. The weekly stochastics are pointed down. We are sitting around, we're still in bullish territory here, 58. So holding on to bullish control zone here on the weekly. We are sort of pointed down here on the Wolfpack indicator, right? So we could be towards the bottom of the range lows on the weekly chart, right? The range lows being this area here on this 4650 area, which is kind of where we're at. We're pretty close to it, 4660, I think, right now. So it's good to just pay attention to this upsloping channel. If we do start coming down to test it again, right? As long as we don't make candle closures and break below it, this is a long-term channel up. This is a bullish structure, right? Until we start breaking these lows, right? 4610. If we start making candle closures below it, right, and back testing it as resistance, then we could expect downside, right? That's the key. But we haven't started doing that. We're still respecting this channel and regarding it as a long-term movements to the upside in this market, even though we did make this top here, right? And we haven't been able to test this just yet. But at some point, we will come up to test this top. All right. Now, Ethereum, it's a longer-term time scale for Ethereum, right? 1 touch, 2 touch, Corona touch here. We have a long-term channel up on Ethereum. right? And I drew a horizontal line here because this area acted as a support when we did go through this this crash here, okay? And this crash was about a 38% drop. So not something that we don't typically see in these markets, right? We had a dump here, right? From the May dump, we saw about a 63% drop. All right. And so we're still regarding this area right here as a support. We never actually made candle closures below this weekly area, so that's good. I'm not saying that we don't see more downside, because we potentially still can, but we are getting on the weekly on Ethereum. We are getting this weekly cross up, so pay attention to that. That is something noteworthy here. Every single time we get a weekly cross up here on Ethereum on the stochastics, last time we got it was back here, right in July. We went from a low of 2150 to the top here when we made the top on Ethereum. If you don't regard this next dip and cross up here, right? So we had if you just traded the cross ups on the weekly from 2150 low to the top here of about $4,000, looking at almost 100% move. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to get 100% move, guys. What I am saying is that every single time we do get a weekly stochastic cross up, we do see a significant price increase, okay? So that is what the weekly stochastic is telling us right now. We are still creating this negative momentum, but we're starting to see we are seeing some positive price action, even though it is kind of sideways right now. And the weekly candle just closed. We actually closed a not even a doji reversal candle, but technically we're still in this bear flag, right? If we just look at from this top, right? So technically we need to reclaim this $3,800 area to negate this drop. All right. So I would be suspecting, especially if Bitcoin does make movements back up to that 45 to 46k level, that we could see Ethereum come back up to test these levels right here, right around this $4,000 level. That would make a lot of sense. Okay. Now, if we do break down, because that's also a possibility, I'm not saying we're just gonna maybe just go up, even though we did get a weekly cross up. We didn't fire the signal. This signal isn't really a buy signal until you start crossing above 20 on the stochastic. All right, so yes, we did get a weekly stochastic cross. However, we're waiting to see once we get up to this 20 area, that is really the true buy signal on the weekly time scale. All right. Well, that's the longer term analysis here on Ethereum. The shorter term, we can go to the daily chart and kind of see where our levels are here. And it's pretty clear. We have levels looking left here. You can see this. You have a level here at 36 that you need to break. And then you have this level here around 34, right? So you have 34, 36, and then like roughly that 4K level. All right. These are all levels you need to break back above and claim as supports to maybe go back into another uptrend. Okay. That's what we're looking at right now here on Ethereum. And we're going to look at the ETH BTC chart because that kind of give us some inclination as to if Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin here in the short term. Okay. Now I had something, I had this structure drawn out a while ago. This was a falling wedge break, and we got the breakout in the back test and the rally. And I think we're sitting somewhere around that 78.6% retrace area. If I remember correctly, or yeah, right between the 786 and the 88.6% retrace area. And as you guys can see, this is now in a channel up, right? This tool kind of sometimes doesn't really work out too well, but so let's see. Take some of this off my chart here for a moment. But I am looking at this target up here, right? So falling wedges, typically they resolve themselves to the upside 67% of the time, as you guys know. And they go to the tops of the wedge, right? So ultimately, I am looking for a target around 15%, okay, against Bitcoin. How long that takes, I don't know. But typically, that's how these wedge patterns work. And there is your long-term channel up here after this breakout, okay? Because you can clearly see the bottoms here, perfectly touching. We got this rally and regarded this this median trend line here as a support. Every single time we came down and touched it, we got a rally, right? We touched it here, we even got a little bit of a bounce, right? So we're going to see how we react here, maybe consolidate for a bit before testing this top side of the range again on the ETH BTC chart. All right, and as you guys can see, we are pointed down here on the weekly Stokes. We could get some more, like I said, we could get a little bit more of a back test and test the support area again. We are, like I said, we are in between these two ranges right now. All right, let's take a look at fear and greed index. Obviously, we're still in extreme fear levels right now, so market is still completely uncertain as to what's happening. But we're telling you right now, we are seeing some potentially could see some potential movements up if we can get Bitcoin to go back up to that 45 to 46k level and reclaim those areas as supports. Okay, but so for right now, we haven't done that so far, and we're not really seeing too much price action right this very moment. Okay. As far as the Nupal chart's concerned, we never got to a blow off top, right? Like we saw back here in 2017. We're still not even near that. We actually have dropped off even more. Last time we had this July correction, we came down to these yellow areas and got a rally, right? But we're gonna see how this ends up playing out. So far we're not in any sort of in terms of fear and greed, we're not really in any sort of danger of a major top, even though we might have already made a top, right? We already made a top. I'm not saying it's the top. Okay. All right, we made a top. This may not be the top for this cycle, but we may not make a blow off top, right? Because everyone's expecting a blow off top. So we're just gonna have to trade the ranges, guys. There's no like, oh, we're going to the moon. Oh, we're going. Just trade the ranges. So we're at the bottoms of the range, as we are right now. We're towards this bottom of this range. We could trade back up towards the top of the next range, right? Which is, like I said, around that 45 to 46k level. Okay. So we covered fear and greed. We covered Nupal. We're gonna cover the signals in the Discord here. We kind of make it a little bit easier for you guys now. All right, so if you're in the Discord, you'll see the BTC signals, ETH signals, and alt signals. So right now, BTC signals are printing longs on the hourlies and the 4-hour. The daily, obviously, is still short, so we haven't reclaimed the daily uptrend just yet. ETH signals are also the same, right? Longs on the hourly and 4 hours. So we're looking at short-term moves up, like long scalps up towards the top of the ranges, like we've been saying, and we're waiting for that daily to cross back to the long side. Once the daily crosses long, then we're talking about maybe longer-term swing trades that come into effect. All right, that's what we're looking at right now, guys. And I did want to go through. I am running the SAR and Rapid Fire on low. For the SAR right now, and Rapid Fire I'm running medium settings on a 20k balance. I wanted to show you guys over the course of this month how the bots have been performing during this down market, or during this downtrend, right? So on a 20k account, I've roughly profited around almost $900 in almost a month, which on a 20k balance is roughly 5%. That's, I think, very, very conservative. Something that you guys should definitely consider if you guys haven't already looked at this. This is no leverage. This is just spot. There's no risk of liquidation. In my opinion, this is completely passive. I don't really even look at this very often during the day. Sometimes I do look at it to see if I have trades that are really bagged up, or have exceeded maybe my dollar cost averages. But honestly, on medium and low risk settings, I have not had one real trade that has exceeded that, which is amazing. So you guys definitely should check that out. Consider it as part of your trading strategies. All right, I will be doing some content on that as well this week to kind of go through that with you guys on how to set up spot. All right. All right, so if you guys want to look at some tickers, let me know. Definitely post them in the chat. Like I said before, If we don't get this move up right now, we're going to come back down to test these lows. If not, we might just sit sideways here for a bit. That's all really I'm seeing on this chart. There's nothing really happening right now. And we kind of had a couple days of sideways price action here. But technically making higher lows, right? Low, higher low, technically a higher low. IJ Money, that would be that's probably accurate, right? If we don't get a major blow off top, then we probably kind of make some sort of leveling out or longer term consolidation period, right? Also, keep in mind that they printed so much money during coronavirus, and actually still printing a lot of money, and the market's never really seen that type of money printing, right? Ever in the history of the dollar. So just keep that in mind. I think there's lots of capital that's just sitting around. And, it may not obviously get allocated to crypto, but I'm just saying, some of that might get allocated to crypto. That's a possibility, right? The banks aren't really in yet. Obviously, you do have JP Morgan. Some of the major banks are in, but I think we're going to see more of that coming over the next coming years, right? More adoption with that. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay. Now look at HNT. Yeah, we can take a look at HNT. I don't think I've looked at this one in a while. Let's take a look at it. Well, it perfectly hit the 1272 fib extension and pulled back. Interesting. All right, so yeah, I mean, you're looking at you're towards range lows here, right, on the weekly time scale, right? You pretty much tested this area right here, and you made a doji candle there last week. What about the Fed's increasing interest rates? Yeah, them raising the interest rates could definitely create a risk-off event, which is exactly what I'm talking about. We could see further downside towards the bottom of the ranges, right? But I think it's a short-term thing, right? Because even if they do raise interest rates, it definitely is going to cause movements down, right? But the people are able to earn much more yield in the crypto space right now than any other traditional way of earning interest. So I think the money's going to just stay in crypto. It's just going to be allocated into DeFi protocols or CeFi solutions or however people can earn interest. I think the money is going to stay in the crypto sphere. It's just it may not translate to higher prices on some assets, right? Just kind of giving you my oversight or my long-term outlook on the crypto space. I think long-term this space is here to stay, right? So just always keep that in mind. And FTM, yeah, I mean, nothing bad to say here. This looks like a nice long-term up channel, right? As long as you don't make candle closures below this this channel, I think this is this could be a good long-term opportunity. Right, you're just kind of chilling and making higher lows right now. You're not really doing too much yet because, well, Bitcoin isn't really doing too much. But yeah, I mean, just watch it. You are still making lower highs, but you're making higher lows. You're going to get to an area. You're going to get to a point where, you're going to get buyers and sellers that are going to kind of be in like a standoff where someone's going to win, right? So, but if Bitcoin ends up really trending down, then these assets will trend down with Bitcoin, right? So TA is only as good as what Bitcoin really is offering us. So if Bitcoin's heading down, it's more than likely going to affect the technical analysis happening on this chart as well. Although you will get some assets, that will outperform when Bitcoin is dropping, right? Some of it is news driven too. Okay, so you need to pay attention to what the fundamentals are for these types of coins. All right. But yeah, overall, this is in a nice uptrend, right? It literally just been making higher highs and higher lows for the last since November 20th. Yeah, exactly. The market's already pricing the interest rates in. That's correct. That is correct. But you saw initial sell-off because of it. Yep. So for HNT, like I said, you're sort of in this middle of this range here. It wouldn't shock me if we ended up coming back down to test the range lows again if Bitcoin comes down. Okay. If not, we could go sideways here. Maybe start building some strong support at this level, and then maybe, just maybe, you get a move to break back up to test the top side of the range. Okay. And your downside target is this support here at 2670. It really is that simple. Right now, you're in the middle of that range. All right. All right. You guys have anything else? Looks like Cosmos is on the move again. And I really want to thank everyone that joined the stream here tonight. Make sure you guys smash up the like button. Appreciate that. We're my goal here for this year is to get 10,000 YouTube subscribers. So we're at 4,000. Make sure you guys smash up the like and subscribe button. Tick the little bell if you guys are interested in getting the updates here. I will be producing some more content. I'm actually going to be more focusing on the bots because I feel like people just want to make automatic or automated trades more so than manual trades these days. So I'm going to be making some content on that to kind of get the word out about what we do here at STP with our automated trading. All right. Yeah, we'll take a look at Luna and PYR. We'll take a look at those. All right, so Luna, downsloping channel, got the breakout, kind of just consolidating here, right? We could just consolidate at this level right now. We're right below this resistance area, and once you're consolidating below a resistance, it is more than likely that it is going to break this resistance, right? Just like if you were at a support and you kept testing the support, it would be more likely that you eventually break that support, correct? So the more times you test a resistance, we tested it once, twice, 3 times. This is your 4th time at testing this resistance. Okay, yes, you are pulling back here a bit. However, you are not bearishly engulfing this candle on the 4 hours. So make sure you pay attention to that. We could break this level, and once we do break this level, we could see Luna go back up to about $94, all right? Pay attention to Luna. This is definitely one of the longer term coins that I am bullish on. Okay, and you're breaking the top side of this channel up right now. Okay, so this could go and make a parabolic move again. All right. But always trade with caution, especially when you're at the all-time highs or near all-time highs. We did just get a 3-day cross-up, and the signal is above 20. That is a buy signal on the 3-day chart. All right? So Luna could see some more price appreciation is what this chart's telling me right here. Okay? And you have the top side target here, $100. You break that, you're looking at around two and a quarter, $223, the one major 1414 fib extension. But these are your areas to target for the top side of the range. All right, Luna, PYR, Solana, and XRP. Let's take a look at them. Is this a stock, man? PYL? PYR. Sorry. Never heard of this one. All right, so this asset, you know, also nice uptrend, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Been in a consolidation period here for like, you know, since November, okay? Obviously a newer asset, so not a lot of chart data here, but we can see that we're sitting right along this 236 pip extension, right? From our swing low to our swing high. Wild man, we'll get to those, no problem, man. And the 3-day chart, we did get a cross up here, but like I said, we want to see this go above 20 for a real signal. We are seeing negative momentum sort of weaning off here, and the Wolfpack is close to maybe crossing back up right here on the 3-day chart. If we go to like the daily, we can maybe see we got a bit of hidden bearish divergence there, but we did get a cross up here on the MACD. We started creating this positive momentum here on the daily chart, and it looks just like a consolidation down at this support level. All right, this could be an area where we might at least get a test back up to you know, 2350 or something. It depends on how much volume comes in at these levels, you know. But we could just consolidate, and we could even come down to the bottom of this channel or the bottom of this range, and maybe come down to this 1350 area. This is a possibility. We kind of just have to see how this plays out, because it just looks like it's just kind of consolidating down here. There's no real pattern. It's just in a consolidation here. Okay. You know, maybe some sort of wedge. I don't know. It's not really valid just yet on this one. All right. Solana, take a look at it. Yeah, I had a head and shoulders pattern on this. Came down to the neckline. I'm going to redraw this, though. You can check Matic, yep. Sure. All right, so Solana obviously in between these two fibs, right? Between the 236 and the we can call it the 100% retrace, which is the all-time high. So big trading range up here. We're kind of in this, been stuck in this trading range since we made this top, right? This is a big trading range, right? It's a 100% trading range. So we can literally just trade these levels, right? We know this 130, 140 level, 135, 140 level was a support, and we could come back down to test it again, right? So it looks like we're just making lower highs right now. We have yet to make lower lows, but what could happen is this: we could come down and test this area again before maybe getting a move up. So something along those lines. Because the 3-day chart is crossing up. We did just almost cross above 20 on the stochastic, so that is a potential buy signal that is coming in. It isn't confirmed yet. We obviously aren't even seeing the price action for that to really take effect just yet. So that's Solana. We're just in a you guys can see the rectangle range. We're just in a range. Stuck in a range. All right. All right, that's Solana. XRP is up next. So 1-2 touches on the bottom here. We have our lower tier trend line. I mean, in theory, we could actually draw it this way because this was a fake breakout, right? So we could draw it this way. You can clearly see that this is in the channel right now, and we could come down to the bottom of the channel. That's totally a possibility. We come down to 60 cents before we really get a nice rip back up. Okay. Depending on how you draw this. Or depending on how you depict the drawing, I should say. I'm going to keep it up here as well, just so we can, and also include that top. So that's our supply line. And right now, this is our support line. It's kind of, I mean, I kind of maybe want to draw it from here, right? Because it looks like those wicks kind of match up. So we're in the middle of these two ranges between the 50% retrace and the 618. Okay, and yeah, the 3-day chart is, the stochastics are crossing up here, right? And it looks like we're coming out of this negative momentum. We could be setting up for a move here on XRP, and we could get this to test the top side of the range, right? The supply line. The supply line is at $1.18. We could be setting up for that type of move, right? That is potentially a 52% move if we do get that. Algo, Tezos, and HBAR, and Matic. All right. Still in a long-term channel up, right? We never broke this trend line here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. Looks like a potential 3-day double bottom. Not confirmed yet, but we're still we are making these higher lows down here. And yes, we could easily construe this as a trading range right now. It's pretty clear that this is our top and this is the bottom of this range. And we could trade this up to the top of the range, right? This 180 area. We could take a look at Iris, sure. If we do break the top side of the range, we're going to go maybe the next top of the range, right? 250 area. And if we break down, we're looking at this next low at 91 cents if we break down. All right, but it looks like we're getting maybe a 3-day cross up here. Hasn't confirmed yet. You can see that it's still separated right now. But the 2-day cross down, the daily crossed up. We kind of got some conflicting variables here. But the daily looks like negative momentum weaning off. And your volume is receding here as well. So there could be some There could be some movements coming in here shortly. This asset towards the range lows. So we could get a failed attempted rally right to the top side of the range. Really depends on what Bitcoin's going to do, guys. This all depends on what Bitcoin's doing. It all depends on what the traditional markets are doing. But so far, we just have lower highs, and we're holding the lows right now in this trading range. Okay. That's Algorand. We're looking at Tezos, H-bar. Well, I had this drawn out. I don't know if it's going to do it, but yeah, you're still in this channel up. And you're about to get a 3-day bullish cross here on the MACD momentum oscillator, right? You haven't crossed up just yet. This negative momentum is weaning off. I do suspect that if we do get continued movements up, we will get a cross, right? But we're kind of struggling to break this high here at this 445 area. But we'll see how this plays out, right? Especially if Bitcoin can go test that 45 to 46k level, we're going to see how that plays out. All right. All right, so that's Tezos. We're looking at H-bar. Still in the pattern. Right, still kind of trading off the bottom demand line here. Could look for long entries towards the bottom of this trend line. Every single time you come down to here, you can see touched here. You got a nice 20% move off the lows here. And you can draw it just like this on your own charts. So it's still technically in a long-term channel up until you break this demand line, right? Weekly pointed down here on this asset. You're also in a consolidation. You're also in a squeeze. But your negative momentum is looking like maybe it's trying to wean off. No real clear direction on that just yet on the weekly. The 5-day maybe starting to cross up, trying to cross up here. Okay, but we don't get a. No, we didn't do 1 inch yet. We'll do 1 inch in a second, Donnie. We'll get that for you. Now the 5-day looking like it might try to cross up here depending on the price action over the course of the next 5 days. Again, we're looking for that signal to go above 20 for a buy signal. All right. This is looking interesting, especially towards the range lows. Do see some volume coming in here. This could be buying volume coming in here towards the end of the day yesterday. Let's see. Not really clear yet, but you are making a low and a higher low, but you are making lower highs. So you got to get above this 34-cent area to really see a nice push back up to the top of the range for the asset, right? So that's H-bar. We're going to look at Matic and whatever else I missed here. So Matic holding the 88.6% retrace here, making higher low, making a higher low. Beautiful. We can target the top of the range here for Matic, this 245 area. And if you break 245, we're looking at 252. This does look like kind of like a cup and handle structure down here. You guys can see this, right? You got your cup here, and kind of an elongated handle. But this typically is a continuation type of structure, and you could measure from the bottom to the top. You're looking at about maybe a 10% move after you break this neckline. So that puts you right around that 268 area. Dramatic. And we're gonna look at 1 inch. I haven't looked at this chart in a while. I think I had this chart on my other EMA ribbon chart. Let's take a look. All right, so real simple, right? We have bottom of the range, top of the range. We're towards this bottom of this range, right? We actually got a nice wick right off the 382 fib extension, and it wouldn't shock me if we at least come up to test, you know, this 258 area, which is basically kind of where we're pretty close to right now. We did get a closure outside of the supply line here on the weekly. We could get a back test right down to, you know, maybe this 225 area, depending on what Bitcoin's doing right now. We did get like I said, we did get a closure outside here. So this could mean we do see a test of the top side of the range, this 258 area, maybe even on up to about 285, 284. All right. 1 inch actually looks okay. And we did get a cross up here. We didn't, well, like I said, we didn't get the proper signal above 20 here on the stochastics, but it's starting to trend back up. Starting to trend back up on the longer term time scale here. Okay. So yeah, I would say for a midterm target around that $3.30 area, we do get a push up. And for the bottom side or bottom targets, right, we're looking at the bottom of the range, this 180 to you know, 215 area for downside targets. And I check OMI or CRO. Yep, we'll check OMI. Looks nice on the weekly, right? But you are towards the top of the trading range here. It looks like you will maybe test the top, which is around that 0.008 area. And if you're looking for you know, breakout targets, in case you do get it, you're looking at you know, a 70 to 75% move after you break the all-time highs here. Nice looking chart. All right, so anywhere in here in this fib range, longer term, if you break the top side of the range. And then CRO. Still making higher lows, man. This looks really nice, actually, on a long-term chart here. It's like perfect channel up, right? Even came back down to test this median heart line. Beautiful. Nice consolidation here. Downsloping consolidation. This actually looks really nice. Really nice. Looks like maybe you got some sort of wedging happening here. All right, you see how the price compression is getting really tight in that range there? Yeah, this looks like a falling wedge. Looks like a falling wedge. Very nice. So perfect. We went up to the 1414, pulled back, and now we're back testing this area here before we broke out, right? Literally just sitting up here. It wouldn't shock me though if we did come down to you know, this 31 cent area, because we didn't test that. All right, that area right there. If we don't break up out of this wedge, because the wedges sometimes they break down about 32% of the time, okay? But right now the daily is pointed up. That is for sure. Okay, CRO looks actually really nice. DXY, let's take a look at the DXY. So here's your long-term DXY on the weekly chart, right? We're in a long-term downtrend, right? High, lower high, lower high. Now we gotta bounce off this median range here, and now we're trying to you know, test back above these areas here. But we got a nice rejection here last week, but still kind of trading in that range right now. But this does look like a rising wedge. Just saying. This doesn't look bullish, right? This looks like we got a breakdown, and now we're back testing this breakdown right now. Okay, so let's wait for confirmation of a rejection on the DXY there. Right, we are crossing back down here on the weekly. We are showing some drives of bullish divergence here, but it might just be short-lived because we're in an overall downtrend. So let's go to the monthly chart to kind of get a real idea. Yeah, the monthly chart pointed down on the monthly, right? And stochastics are starting to also cross down, right? So that could be setting up for movements down over the coming months. Yep, we'll take a look at Iris. I apologize about that, man. Sorry. Guessing there's not too much chart data on this asset. Yep, this is about all we got. All right. So you have your top of the range, you have your bottom of the range, right? And then you have your, what could be some sort of channel here, long-term channel. It looks about right. So you're still making these higher lows, so that's good. And you're consolidating here. You're consolidating here. So you could see some more consolidation, right? There's nothing really implying or saying that we could maybe get a move up. We could. Again, we did get a cross up here. You're sitting around, yeah, you're in bullish territory on the daily. So that's good. You're in a TTM squeeze. So once you do trigger, you know, either long, if you trigger a long, then you're going to probably see the top of the range, right? The top of the range is up to about, you know, 15.8 cents here on the daily. And if you do break that, because this does look like double bottom stuff, right? You see this bottom here, and you see another higher low double bottom, right? So 53%, if you break this, you're looking at another 53% move, which is exactly maybe to all-time highs. All right, so be patient and wait for that. That looks interesting. Very nice. Very nice, right? And the longer term time scales are starting to point up here. The weekly stochastics are pointed up above 20, signaling a buy on the weekly chart. This is not financial advice, just what I'm seeing on a chart, guys. Remember that. Remember to always do your own research. Remember to always watch what Bitcoin's doing, because the technicals may get negated may get negated by what Bitcoin's movements are and change. Okay, remember that. This is only for your reference. It's not something you should be relying on 100%, okay? Excellent. Thank you, Wildman. Appreciate the comments, and I appreciate all you guys joining the stream tonight. Make sure you guys smash up the like button if you guys haven't done so already. And hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Make sure you guys are active on YouTube, man. Let's get to the 10,000 subscriber count this year. That's my goal, guys. 10,000 subscribers. Appreciate all you guys along the way here, supporting the stream and the channel and STP and what we do here. Really appreciate you guys too. Cube. Let's take a look at it. My first guess, it probably comes down to test this this area right here, this $5 area. Okay, there's no real support here until about here, so I would say it's going to probably come down to test that 382 fib extension. Okay, or even this wick high around $6, 590. You are starting to get some divergence to come in, which would make sense. Right, but your daily is crossing down, so I still think you could see some more movements to the downside, as I was saying before. All right, but nice bull flag here, nice downslope of consolidation. That's exactly what you want to see out of an asset that's bullish. Okay. That's it. AVAX. AVAX just sitting above the 88.6% retrace area right here. Not a whole lot going on, just trading in a range, right? 76 to 130 in a 100% trading range is where we're at right now for AVAX. So anywhere in this range, and we are towards the bottom of this range, we could see if we get some more consolidation here and make some higher lows, you could see a test back up to that 115 area. All right, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning into the stream tonight for the weekly live stream, and we're going to be trying to get some more content out for you guys this week, so stay tuned for that, and we'll catch you guys in the Discord. All right? Make sure you guys join the Discord if you guys haven't done so. It is in the link in the description below, and we'll catch you guys in the next stream. Thank you guys again. Have a wonderful week. Catch you guys next Sunday's stream, and we'll be getting out some content for you guys this week. Thank you guys again.